We're on page 8, and this is exercise 1. The directions here go for all of 1, 2, and 3. So exercises 1 through 3. Determine if y is proportional to x and justify your answer. Justify your answer is just another way of asking how do you know, or it's another way of saying explain. It's just different way of saying the same thing. You can't just say yes or no. You're giving more than that. And we're determining if y is proportional to x. So that's important. We know that we would do our setup as y to x. When we started talking about the x and the y, I said eventually you guys will figure out, you'll learn which one's the x and which one's the y, but right now they're just telling you. This particular table is about the amount of snowfall in inches in 5 counties. So like we live in Genesee County, and we have Lapeer and Saginaw and Bay and Livingston and different counties around us. Comparing that to the amount of time in hours for recent winter storms. So like in 2 hours in one county they got 5 inches. 2 hours they got 10 inches of snow. In another one they had 6, they had 12, 8 hours 16. And another one was just 2.5 and 5. So I'm just looking at this trying to decide if it was, might be just the total amount of snowfall in the 5 counties altogether. Possibly, I'm not sure. Not clear enough in this problem. But basically, we're looking to see whether y is proportional to x. So you could do ratios. You can go 10 over 2. You can go 12 over 6. 16 over 8. 5 over 2.5. 14 over 7. Then figure out what they each equal. This is where we start to see something interesting happen. You don't want to just figure out what the first one is and then write all the rest of them. Because in this one, the first one equals 5, and then that equals 2, 2, 2, and 2. Now, if you didn't want to use the ratios, you could certainly use a multiplier. In this particular problem, 2 times 5 is 10, 6 times 2 is 12, 8 times 2 is 16, 2.5 times 2 is 5, and 7 times 2 is 14. So if we're determining whether y is proportional to x, we would have to say no. This is our first no that we've had. No. The snowfall, or the inches, are not proportional to the time, or the hours, because there's not a common, now if we look at the first one, there's not a common unit rate if you did it with your ratios, or if you did your multiplier, you'd say there's not a common multiplier, or using our new vocab, you could say there is no constant of proportionality. That's our first no that we've had. Even though stuff went in evenly, that's not what it's about. It has to be a common multiplier or a common unit rate for it to be proportional.